Okay, so this is a Unit 5, Lesson 6 on page 96. I'm just going to start off by going over the example. Again, this is just factoring, and this is what I saw to be the most common miss on the quiz from last week. So we have factor 6x minus 18. So again, list out your factors for 6 and 18. I come up with a GCF of 6. That's the biggest common factor. So some people were just pulling out common factors. Make sure you have the biggest one. Take out the GCF, which was 6, and then you are dividing. 6x divided by 6 is 1x, and negative 18 divided by 6 is a negative 3. So a lot of us were missing that negative. You can use the keep change up top here to give you that negative 18, so you know that you are dividing by a negative. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. Therefore, my final answer is just 6 times 1x plus negative 3. So you were to solve what was in green, and we've actually done this problem before. So I have 12x minus 40. So I'm going to just list out my 12s. I have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. And my 40s, 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8. I get my GCF right here is 4. So I'm going to write GCF equals 4. I'm going to draw my area model. Again, don't forget this is 12x plus a negative 40. So 12x plus a negative 40. Bring your GCF on the outside. 12x divided by 4 is 3x, plus negative 40 divided by 4 is a negative 10. So my final answer is 4 times 3x plus a negative 10. Then you were to write the objective. I will write equivalent expressions for real life situations. So again, we're just working with some word problems in this lesson. Okay, so on page 97, I have Theodora and Elizabeth both paid $15 per swimming lesson. Theodora was charged an $8 fee for registering late. Write an expression that represents the combined total amount paid if T equals the number of lessons Theodora paid and capital E equals the number of lessons Elizabeth paid. Create an equivalent expression that will represent the amount of money they both paid. So read it through one time. Then we're going to go back and read it again by highlighting our key terms. So our key terms are going to be Theodora and Elizabeth both paid for swimming lessons, $15 per swimming lesson. Theodora was charged $8 fee for registering late. Write an expression that represents the combined total amount if T equals the number of lessons Theodora paid and E equals the number of lessons Elizabeth paid. Create an equivalent expression that will represent the amount of money they both paid. So let's go back and figure out our numbers. We got Theodora and Elizabeth both paid $15 per swimming lesson. Theodora was charged $8 fee for registering late. Write an expression that represents the combined total amount paid if capital T equals the number of lessons Theodora paid and E equals the number of lessons Elizabeth paid. Create an equivalent expression that will represent the amount of money they both paid. So now I have stuff highlighted. Now I just need to put everything together. I'm going to start off with the first thing that I highlighted, which was Theodora. So we're going to just make a little, almost like a T-chart. So here's Theodora's. We know that $15 per swimming lesson. Now we don't know how many swimming lessons, so that's where the T comes in. That is representing the number of lessons. So that word per just means to multiply. So we don't know the number of lessons, but for every lesson she paid $15. So we're just going to multiply 15 times capital T, which will look like that. Then Theodora was also charged $8 fee for registering late. So this was like a one-time fee and it was added on, so she's still paying more. So because it was an additional fee or she's being charged more, we are just going to add that $8 fee. So there's Theodora's. Now we need to do the next thing that we highlighted, which was Elizabeth. Elizabeth is also paying $15 per lesson. So we're using E because maybe they didn't take the same amount of swimming lessons. Maybe Theodora, already kind of knew how to swim and she doesn't need as many as maybe Elizabeth. So that's where we are going to just use E for the number of lessons Elizabeth paid. So again, using that per $15 per lesson, we don't know how many lessons. So that's why we're using E, but 15 times E. And she registered on time. She doesn't have that $8 fee. So Elizabeth is done. Now we want to know the total. So them together. We want to know how much did the combined total is what we highlighted. So combined total equals 15T plus 8 plus, that was Theodora's, right? Plus 15E. Now, I can just leave my answer like this, or they want us to write an equivalent expression, so we can just move some numbers around. Because everything is addition, I can get rid of these parentheses. I don't need them. I'm going to put my 15T plus, I'm going to move 15E next to it, and plus 8. This is where we start to factor, and I'm just going to factor out of here. So really, this is 15 times T plus E, because we factor out the GCF, which was 15, and we just add 8. So if I were to go back in and distribute this 15, right, using the distributive property and multiplying, we would just have 15T plus 15E plus 8, which is the same thing as what we had before. So that's why we are factoring out the 15, just creating that equivalent expression. Okay, so we are going to just skip number 2 and go ahead and go to the next page, which was 98. So this is page 98. And we're going to be looking at number 1. So let's go ahead and read it together. I have Madison and Allison both received $500 in scholarships per year for college. Both worked during the summer. Madison saved $200 while Allison was able to save $250. Write an expression to represent the total amount of money they will have for college together. Let M equal the number of years for Madison and A equal the number of years for Allison. So let's go ahead and highlight just our key terms. We know we want a combined of Madison and Allison. They both received $500 in scholarships per year for college. Both worked during the summer. Madison saved $200 while Allison was able to save $250. Write an expression to represent the total amount of money they saved for college together. Let M equal the number of college years for Madison and A the number of college years for Allison. So let's go back and highlight our key numbers. They both received $500 in scholarships per year for college. Both worked during the summer. Madison saved $200 while Allison saved $250. Write an expression to represent the total amount of money they have for college together. Let M equal the number of college years for Madison and A equal the number of college years for Allison. So let's go through and just start off with the first highlight, which was Madison. So I'm going to start off here with Madison. Madison received $500 per year, so we have that per again. That just means to multiply. So we're multiplying 500 times the years of college. So remember down here we have that I didn't highlight. Let M equal the number of college years for Madison and A the number of years for Allison. So We're going to multiply 500 times M. And then it says Madison saved $200. So we're just going to add $200. Now for Allison again receives $500. And the reason why we're not going to use the same letters for the years of college is sometimes there's different programs for different majors in college that take longer, take an extra 5 years, that take 5 years, and some take 4 years. Some people finish college early, some take a little bit longer. So we're not really sure how much time Madison and Allison are going to spend in college. But Allison was able to save $250, so we're just going to add that to her total. Now we want it together, so we want total amount. Total amount's going to equal together, so 500M plus 200, that's Madison's, plus Allison's 500A plus 250. I'm just going to combine my constants, so this equals 500M plus 500A plus 200 plus 250 is 450. Okay, we can leave my answer like this, or we can pull out the 500 out of here. So this could be 500 times M plus A plus 450, sorry. And either answer would be correct. So 500M plus 500A plus 450 is a good answer, as well as 500 times the M plus A plus 450. And that would be it. That would be our answers. Okay, we're going to skip number 2 on page 98 as well.